Good morning. So it is Friday morning and I thought that this weekend I would film a reading vlog. It's been a while since I've done one. I always enjoy filming them. I know you guys enjoy watching them. It's one of my most requested videos, so I thought that I would film one this weekend. I've got quite a lot of things to do today, but then Saturday and Sunday are pretty clear, so I should be able to get some really good reading done. So I hope that you want to come along with me on this little reading journey. I will just flip the camera around and I will show you what my reading plans are for the weekend. Okay, so I am currently reading The Familiars by Stacey Hall. I am just about halfway through, but the writing is quite big on the pages, so I'm finding that I'm able to read it quite quickly. So how cute is that? So yeah, I would hope to have this finished, if not today, then definitely first thing tomorrow. And then I'm torn between either picking up The Binding by Bridget Collins or Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. This one's obviously shorter than this one, but both of them are well thought of booktube newbies, and yeah, I definitely want to pick one of these up this month, but I'm torn between the two. I think that I'm going to enjoy this one more, but obviously it's a bit chunky, but I'm keen to see what all the fuss is about with this one as well. So two possibilities there. And then I'm also listening to an audio. No, I'm not listening to an audiobook, that's a total lie. I am also reading a book on my Kindle on my phone, the Kindle app, which is called Thief River Falls, and that is a new release, and I'd quite like to finish that one as well. So let's see how we get on. First of all though, I've just dropped the kids off, so I'm going to have some breakfast, have a cup of tea, catch up on an episode of Love Island because that is my trash TV of choice at the moment. I have got a little bit of news which I can't tell you just yet, sorry to tease, but it has meant that I've had quite a lot going on, and Love Island has just been the perfect switch off for me recently. So yeah, hopefully I can update you soon, but it just has meant I've been quite busy, I've been all over the place, blah 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 blah. So I'm going to do that, then I've got some work to do, then I'm going to read, but first, as always, let's make a cup of tea.
Fall into lust, but you grow into love. See with your gut, but you read with your mind. Don't get me wrong, he's a nice looking boy, but you don't know his mom, does he treat her right? You've only known him for like a weekend, but you falling head first. What was you call him? But you won't listen to my warning before you're in too deep. Tell me where you're going with your velvet heart.
So just a quick update, I'm about to go and pick the kids up. I have about 100 or so pages left to read of The Familiars. It's an incredibly readable book. I just fly through it. It's not a complex literary fiction read or anything like that, and it doesn't go into too much detail, which is kind of an interesting reading experience because it's very surface level, but it does mean that, as I said, it's a very readable book and I am enjoying it greatly. And despite the fact that I am enjoying it, I would like to try and get this finished today. Hopefully I will be able to do a little bit more reading when I get back from school. The kids are normally quite tired on a Friday and just want to chill, so I will be able to sit and read hopefully next to them while they do whatever it is they choose to do. And then James and I are out this evening. We're going to see some friends, so that should be good, but it means I won't be able to get much reading done, I wouldn't have thought. So if I can get the majority of those 100 pages ticked off before this evening, then I could probably finish this first thing tomorrow, which would be good, and then I can jump into something else. So yeah, right now I'm going to go, otherwise I'm going to be late, so I will check in with you later.
Giving all of you for a shot in the dark. Tell me where you're going with your velvet heart, or your velvet heart won't beat again. I'm never gonna say it, but I don't have faith. Clinging to the edge happens every time. Waiting for the knock at 3 a.m. You put it in a box, move back to mine.
Not really sure what's happening with this today. It's gone like all poofy. So, good morning. It's about 10:30 on Saturday. I've had quite a chilled start to the weekend. James got up and went to do park run with Eli, which is like a friendly local 5k thing. I think that Eli enjoyed it more than James. I don't know that James has ever run a 5k before today. So yeah, they haven't long been home, and then James is going out again. He's playing football in Liverpool with his brothers and some other people. So he's taken Megan because the cousins, my nephews, are going to be there. She wanted to go and see them. So they are going out. Me and Eli are just gonna chill and hang out here. I need to put some dinner in the slow cooker for later. We've not got many plans today. We are definitely going to be watching the final Harry Potter film with the kids. They've never watched it, part 1 or part 2, so we're going to do that in a little while. But yeah, just kind of chill out. I've got about 50 pages left of The Familiars, so it will be quite good to get that finished this morning. As I said, I'm going to put some dinner in the slow cooker, and then I think I'm going to read. The Everton game is on in a bit, so Eli will be distracted watching that. And hopefully I can get some reading done. So I just want to say good morning. I'm aware actually that my skin is horrendous at the minute, so I can only apologise. It's at the worst that it has been for quite a few months. I've just got a lot of sore red patches and inflammation, which I'm not quite sure why. I have been under quite a bit of stress with all the different things that I've had going on, but yeah, I'm not sure what is happening with this flare up. And also my hair's just gone like, I just look a bit of a hot mess today, so maybe you won't see so much of this, but yeah, gonna get some reading done, just chill out, and yeah, I'm sure that I will update you in a little while, but happy Saturday.
You've only known him for like a weekend, but you falling head first. What was you call him? But you won't listen to my warning before you're in too deep. Tell me where you're going with your velvet heart. What you giving all of you for a shot in the dark.
Okay, so quick reading update. I didn't manage to finish The Familiars, although I only have about 20 pages left. I had to press pause on reading it to help Eli through a very emotional Everton game, but I am so close to the end, and I realised that I haven't actually told you what the book is about. So it's historical fiction, and it's basically about the Pendle witch trials in the 1600s, which is obviously a thing that actually happened. And I didn't know anything. I've never read any book about the Pendle witch trials. I didn't know anything about them other than that they happened. I think I vaguely remember doing something on them when I did early modern history in college, to do with the reign of James I, but that was more focused just on his tract demonology that he wrote rather than anything specific about the trials. So I've never read anything, fiction or non-fiction, about the subject matter, and it's been quite interesting. But this book, we're basically following a young girl called Fleetwood Shuttleworth, who is 17, I think, and she has recently got married, and she lives in a manor house up in Lancashire, and she becomes involved somehow in these witch trials, and she has had several failed pregnancies, and then she meets a young woman who claims to be a midwife, and then it turns out that this midwife is also being accused of being a witch, and that's kind of the basis of the story. So the two women's journeys become intertwined. Fleetwood desperately wants to have a baby and then finds herself pregnant, and the midwife is helping her and then finds herself accused of being a witch, and she's arrested. And actually, I've since picking this up and being so close to the end, I've done a little bit more research on the Pendle witch trials, and the book follows the story quite closely. We have some additional characters, but the majority of the characters in this are actual historical people, actual historical figures, so people who really existed. It's incredibly readable. It's quite quick. It doesn't go into any detail at all. It's not something that I would say I don't know, the prose is not rich, it's not overly descriptive, you don't get a massive connection to your characters. It's almost like an overview to the story of the Pendle witch trials. I mean, it's interesting because I've never read anything like it before, but it doesn't go into too much detail as a fiction book, which I also find quite interesting because that's not something that I would typically choose to read, but it has made it a really quick read. And as I said, it's very readable because you can just kind of whip your way through it. So yeah, on the whole, I have enjoyed it. I'm obviously right at the penultimate part of the book, so I want to kind of get it finished and see what is going to happen in the end. Although having looked up what happened at the Pendle Witch Trials, I just kind of ruin it for myself a little bit because I do know I do know what happens to some of the characters. So yeah, that's kind of it. I'm just going to quickly show you something that James has picked up for me and brought back because I was talking about my skin earlier. So 2 seconds, let me flip the camera around. So obviously mentioned that I have been struggling with my skin just recently, and a product which came up when I was doing some research on people with sensitive skin and a way to combat it was a Liz Earle product. So this is a cleanse and polish hot cloth cleanse and polish hot cloth cleanser starter kit. And yeah, I have seen quite a few people recommend this product, but in particular just recommending using this as part of like a double cleanse. So you use this on dry skin, wash your face, and that gets your makeup off, and then you cleanse again. And lots of people said that doing a double cleanse had been revolutionary for their skin, so I'm gonna give it a go. Obviously I only bought the starter kit because I've never used any Liz Earle product before, and I have incredibly sensitive skin. I can only use a handful of products without just causing more flare-ups and more sore patches on my skin, so I'm a little bit wary, but I'm gonna give it a go anyway. And yeah, I'll update you on the results. But right now, James is home, he's having a shower, Meg is home with her mass of library books, Eli's playing football in the lounge, so I am going to finish this book and I will check in with you in a little while. I promise that I have moved today, I just happen to be back in the same spot. So, little reading update, I have now finished The Familiars. I am being joined by a small person.
Hello.
How was your park run today? Your first ever park run?
It was alright.
It was alright?
Yeah.
I think it was better than alright. The results have come out and Eli was 4th in the under 10 category, which is good, right? Considering that you are only, how old?
8.
8. So yeah, he was 4th in the under 10s, but he came 180th overall, and I think there were just under 400 runners of all ages, so that is quite good. We're very impressed, aren't we? Although I think Eli feels like he could have run faster, but we didn't realise until a few days ago that if you are under 11 you have to run with an adult. So James, bless his heart, who has done 0 training and has never run a 5k in his life, volunteered to run with Eli, and yeah, I think he did alright. I think they did pretty well for their first one. It's something that I would definitely like to do, but I have trouble with my knees from running as a child or as a teen, so I would need to look at getting proper knee supports. But it was good. And are you pleased that you went? Because this morning you weren't sure, were you? Are you just absorbed in your game? He's playing Harry Potter on my phone, so I think he's a bit distracted. So yes, I have finished The Familiars, as I said a short while ago when I had about 20 or 30 pages left to go. It's not as in-depth as maybe I would have hoped or expected, but it was a really readable and easy to get into book, and I would definitely think if you aren't a huge fan of historical fiction, or it's not a genre that you read a whole lot of, that it would be a really good option for you, because yeah, I just flew through it. It was very, very good. I think the only reason it took me so long is because it's a hardback and I couldn't take it out with me as easily as a paperback. But yeah, I gave it 3.5 stars because I think I would have liked a bit more in-depth characterization, which you didn't really get. It was very surface level, which was fine, and I enjoyed it, and it was a great insight into a topic that I didn't know much about. I'm not very good at holding this camera, it makes my arms tired. But yeah, it just wasn't as well-rounded as I maybe would have hoped, but I did enjoy it. and I will definitely be looking to pick up Stacey Hall's new book, which is out next month, I think. Now, let me just reach it. I have decided that I'm going to pick up The Binding by Bridget Collins. There is no way that I'm going to get this read in the next day and be able to give you a proper wrap up, but it's one that I've wanted to read for ages, so I'm going to pick it up and see. But I've only got a little bit of time to read, and then I need to make some dinner, and then we're going to watch, what are we watching?
Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Harry Potter, The Deathly Hallows Part 1. Which the kids are a tiny bit excited about. Yeah, we're just gonna have a family evening. So it's Sunday afternoon. We have been out to church this morning. We've just got back, so it's about 1:30, 2ish. I'm gonna sit down and do some reading. The kids are tidying their rooms, so I'm gonna sit down and do some reading, and then I'm gonna try and edit this vlog so that hopefully it can go up this evening, but we will see. Just wanted to do a quick reading check-in. As I said, I decided to pick up The Binding by Bridget Collins. This is a book which I have heard many good things about, so I wanted to read it. I'm only about 40 pages in, so not too far in, but already I just think I'm going to love it. It's just so rich and descriptive, but really readable, and there's a nice blend of, it's almost like historical fiction but with a bit of a fantastical twist to it, and yeah, I'm just really curious to see how it's all going to unfold and what is going to happen. So hopefully I can do a little bit of reading before we kind of need to get ready for the week ahead. So I just thought I would check in, and yeah, I will catch up with you all in a little while.
Tell me where you're going with your velvet heart, or your velvet heart won't beat again. But you carry on. Tell me where you're going with your velvet heart. There's a danger of giving all of you for a shot in the dark. Tell me where you're going with your velvet heart, or your velvet heart won't beat again.
So it's Monday evening. Sorry about the light. I've been in work today, so I haven't had a chance to sit down and wrap up this reading vlog until just now. So yeah, this is the end. Thank you if you came along. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm really pleased that I finished The Familiars. It wasn't my favourite book, but I enjoyed dipping my toe into the story of the Pendle Witch Trials, and it's definitely piqued my interest for reading more books set in that time. I feel like that was a very surface level one. I know that I used the phrase a readable book several times, so yeah, I just think that it was a surface level book, and I would definitely be interested to pick up another book on a similar topic. I think that would be very interesting. And then as of today, I am 75 pages into The Binding, which is a blend of fantasy and historical fiction. And honestly, last night I was at about page 50 and I thought, this book is so slow, and I was so disappointed because the opening few pages I had just fallen in love, and I was convinced that it was a book that I was absolutely going to adore. But basically we're following a young boy called Emmett, who gets a letter that basically says he has to go and be a binder's apprentice, and he doesn't really know what that is, and as the reader we don't really know what that means. The only thing that we find out is that Emmett has grown up being told that books are bad, and then he has to go and be this binder's apprentice. So off he goes in like the opening pages, and then from that point until past page 50 is just basically him asking the binder if he can be told what it is to be a binder, and the binder saying no, and you just kind of go round and round and round, and just to the point where it got a little bit tiresome and a little bit boring. But as of where I'm at now, so I think it's about page 70-ish, 75-ish, things have started to pick up. So I'm hoping that the book and the story will continue with its momentum, and it will continue to grow and engross me, fingers crossed. But yeah, it's always hard when you're reading a book that has such hype to give it a fair shot, I think. And I was really expecting to love it, and then I read the opening pages and I was like, yes, and then it kind of just went downhill. But hopefully it will all be alright in the end. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Please do think about subscribing to the channel if you aren't already. Give me the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment, let me know what you are currently reading. I always love to chat with you guys more in the comments, but for now, thank you for watching and I'll see you soon.